Mining has always been one of the most distinctive professions in Elite Dangerous. From those early days of painstakingly manually scooping your chunks of rock to the post-beyond overhaul with seismic charges, abrasion blasters and limpets. It's evolved into one of those most profitable and rewarding activities in the galaxy. It's a bit Marmite, you either like it or you hate it. Until now, however, miners have had to make do with adapted ships. Any old ship, bolt some mining lasers and other mining gear on it, and you've got a miner. The Python, the Krait Mk II, even the Asp Explorer. All fine vessels, but getting a bit long in the tooth now, and not designed exclusively for mining. They could be outfitted for it, yes, but compromises had to be made. Now that's changed with the release of the Lakon Type-11 Prospector, Frontier's first purpose-built mining ship, representing a bit of a milestone in-game. It's the first time a hull has been designed from the ground up to make life easier for miners, with restricted hardpoints, reserved limpet bays, a hybrid mining tool that cuts out some of the fiddly fire group juggling. But does that make the Type 11 the best medium miner in the game? Or do the old kings of old, the Python, the Krait Mk II, the Asp Explorer and Type 8, still hold their ground? Well, we're going to take a bit of a look. So let's go and address the new kid on the block, the Type 11 Prospector. It's what everyone's talking about at the moment, and I would be remiss if I put it at the end of the video. Either way, the Type 11 Prospector, in my opinion, looks and feels like a mining barge. Exactly what it says on the tin. It's got a broad frame, off-centre cockpit, retractable engine pylons. It screams an industrial design vibe. The cockpit visibility, I think, is excellent. Particularly for targeting asteroids beneath you, and the whole design feels more purposeful than the utilitarian build of, say, a Type 9. This isn't a ship pretending to be multi-role, it's very specifically one thing. Now, it's a medium ship with a cargo capacity of up to 288 tons, which is ahead of the Krait Mk II, and I think competitive with the traditional Python Mk1. 3 crew seats, including fighter support, and that's the bone of contention. Everyone is saying, oh, I wish I could get rid of this fighter bay. Could this fighter be something else? Ooh, great. You know? What are we going to use a fighter bay for? More cargo. That's what we wanted. Anyway, I digress. You got a fuel capacity, stock of 32 tons, and a mix of small, medium and large hard points, but uniquely, like I mentioned, some are restricted to mining gear. Now you've got some reserve slots as well for a limpet mining controller, and again, that bloody fighter bay. Either way, these restrictions make it perhaps the least flexible ship on the list, but it's also the most focus. You can't strip it down really and use it as a combat ship. You can't really turn it into a long-range trader. It mines, and I think it mines very well. Talking of which, let's talk about its mining performance. That hybrid mining tool is the star of the show when it comes to the Lakon Type-11. By combining a mining laser with abrasion functionality, it reduces hardpoint clutter, and I think makes the process a little bit smoother. You no longer need to switch between lasers and abrasions in fire groups, which streamlines that mining loop significantly. And also then with dedicated limpets, decent cargo and strong collector support, the Prospector can sustain a large-scale mining operation more efficiently than perhaps any other medium ship. When I tested it, I focused on Panite and Platinum runs and can yield quite easily 200 to 300 million credits in well under 70 minutes. With me doing other things and looking at other things as well. But with everything, there are downsides. Versatility. There's virtually none outside of mining. Combat, while it can carry that fighter support, it's no match for a Krait or a Python in a fight, even though there are some combat-orientated or defensive-orientated hardpoints. And then speed and handling. It's solid, but it's not going to set the world alight. The Lakon Type-11 is the new king of dedicated mining in the medium arena in my point of view. For players who live in rings and cores, it's indispensable as an upgrade as a ship, and probably well worth the arcs. But if you want flexibility, if you want to stand yourself up against any aggressors, then you'll find yourself, I think, drawn back to some of the older ships. Let's take a look at those. The good old Python, I gotta say it now, Mk1, haven't I? The Python has long been called perhaps the best medium ship in the game, and with good reason. It can trade, fight, explore, and yes, mine. And that was it for quite some time. Unlike the Type 11, the Python's strength lies in its capability. It's a multi-role ship. It's a really good multi-role ship. Again, it's a medium ship. Just like the Type 11, it can land virtually anywhere. The cargo capacity is up to 294 tons, marginally more than the Prospector at a maximum, but let's face it, that can be boosted by Frontier by bolting on some more of those really cool new engineered cargo racks. Crew capacity, however, 2 seats. The fuel is 32 tons, and the hard points are 3 large, 2 medium. So you've got your options for mining or combat. And internals, enough to juggle limpets, a refinery, a DSS, cargo, although some compromises are needed. There are no dedicated slots on this ship, but you do have the flexibility to do anything you really want with it. The Python has been the default miner, for me, for years. With 3 large hardpoints, it can fit multiple mining lasers, seismic launchers, and abrasion blaster. Its medium pad means it can dock at lucrative outposts, and its cargo does indeed rival the Type 11, which means it can stay in the field for nice long hauls. The downside is, though, is you're always trading something. There's a sacrifice to be made. Do you sacrifice a limpet controller for more cargo? Do you strip shield strength for an extra rack? That sort of thing. The Type 11 Prospector basically eliminates these questions by having those dedicated slots. But the Python forces some choices. Does it still matter, though? I think the Python does. I think the Python does remain a really good multi-role miner for players who mine one day, bounty hunt the next, and then run missions the day after. The Python, I think, is unbeatable in that respect. But with the way things are going, many people have a ship for many different things that they're doing, for many different roles that they're doing in Elite Dangerous. It's not as efficient as the Type 11, there's no dedicated mining tool for it, yet, but it's far more useful if you don't want to own multiple ships. And that's my opinion. But there's more. What about that Krait Mk II? Now, I do like the Krait Mk II. It's kind of the fighting mining ship, if you know what I mean. Medium pad, 230 odd tons of cargo capacity, less than the Python, or the Type 11, 3 crew seats, with fighter support, decent fuel tank, 3 large, 2 medium, 2 small, so very flexible in the hard points, and the internals are generous, though not optimised as the Prospector, but you wouldn't expect it to be. The Krait Mk II is a great explorer, it's a great combat ship, it's a great AX ship. It's even a decent hauler for small cargo runs, and it's a great ship for bounty hunting. And also Frontier put it in on their ARC store as well as a dedicated mining ship, a jumpstart mining ship, which is pretty good for laser mining, to be perfectly honest. So, look at the mining performance. It excels at deep core mining, in my opinion. Its agility allows you to move around those fissures in the asteroids with precision. Its plentiful hardpoints make it easy to fit all the mining gubbins, subsurface missiles, seismic charges, abrasion blasters, alongside a mining laser. Its collector efficiency is decent, though its smaller cargo capacity means more trips to the stations, but then, in my opinion, you get to realise your mining profit a little bit quicker. Its collector efficiency, like I say, is decent. You know, why it still matters? Well, the Krait is perhaps one of the most fun mining ships you've got in the game at the moment, until things get tweaked. If you enjoy that process of flying in asteroid fields, lining up seismic charges, outmanoeuvring pirates, then perhaps the Krait Mk II is the ship for you. That's a good catchphrase, isn't it? It's also a competent combat vessel, as I mentioned, meaning you can mine and perhaps defend, at least give them a punch in the nose, whilst you're showing them the back of your thrusters. Now if you're a relatively new commander, then perhaps an Asp Explorer is the ship for you. You see them popping about all the hazardous combat zones and resource zones where people are doing their mining. You often see an Asp Explorer pop around by there. Not a bad little ship. It's not really thought of a mining vessel, but a lot of commanders start their mining careers in one if they're not prepared to go out and spend the arcs. It's cheap, it's quite versatile, it's got a pretty decent jump range for the ship as well, and it's an ultimate, I think, entry-level utility ship. And that's what I mean to say, it's a utility ship. And mining is a utility pastime. It's a medium ship, up to 80 tons of cargo, so significantly lower than the other ones we've mentioned. 2 medium hardpoints, 4 small, so not going to set the world alight, but modest internals. You can fit a refinery, limpets and some cargo with a carefully balanced loadout. The mining performance with limited cargo and those small hardpoints, the Asp really can't compete with the big miners. But like I say, if you're out there to learn the ropes, it could be the ship for you. You can fit a mining laser, prospector, limpet and a small refinery and still get a taste of the mining loop without a heavy investment. Now, again, the Asp Explorer is a try-mining ship, in my opinion. On long expeditions, you can bring mining tools along to refuel and perhaps earn credits for your fleet carrier. I don't know. That sort of thing. It's not efficient, but it's accessible. And that, I think, means it's really good for starting off players. It's kind of got an enduring value to it as well. I still pop out in mine every now and again, take it for a spin, blow the dust off the thrusters. But there are better options. Now, the Lakon, another Lakon ship, Type 8 Transporter. You could call it a budget bulk miner. I think it's really good as a mining ship, actually. Introduced as a stepping stone between that Type 7 and Type 9, obviously, named snappily the Type 8, offers massive cargo in a medium pad footprint. So, up to 400 tons, maxed out. A handful of small and one medium slot, to be perfectly honest, so not going to set the world alight, but tuned, I think, really, for what you want to do. And the internals, favouring cargo and limpet controllers there. The Type 8, for me, I often see it when I'm out and about in Elite Dangerous, seen as that budget bulk miner as I mentioned. Its cargo capacity is unmatched amongst the medium ships, which makes it excellent for mining. The downside is its poor handling and weak power distributor, or distributor. And that can be a challenge then when running multiple mining lasers. And that's the thing, really. What are you going to do with it? Laser mining? Core mining? Who knows? But for bulk runs, especially community goals, I reckon it's the next closest thing to that Type 11, I think. I don't know. You let me know in the comments. But what really is the conclusion to all this, if you're still with me? I mean, you got the specialist versus the all-rounder. The Type 11 Prospector is the new specialist. Streamlines that mining. But specialization does come at a cost. It's inflexible, isn't it? Like we said, the Python and the Krait Mk II, I think, are really highly relevant. Asp Explorer, new miners. Type 8 holds that niche if you want to move an awful lot of cargo from A to B. I think if you're a dedicated miner, you could well adopt the Type 11, but then you could be looking at larger ships as well as their main workhorse. For multi-role pilots, they'll be there for their Pythons and Kraits, and for new players, the Asp Explorer, and possibly the Type 8 could be the ship for them. Either way, I think it's kind of set the mining world alight. This Lakon Type-11 Prospector, it's earned its place virtually straight away. Very frustrating about that fighter bay, I think. Good design, and I think it's gone through a really good set of rebalances as well. In the end, the Prospector doesn't erase all the old ships. It just gives you more of a choice. Do you want flexibility or a dedicated option? And that, I think, is worthwhile thinking about. I've been Ricardo. Thanks very much for watching. Do you agree with what I've said? If you don't, it's okay. Put a nice comment in the comment section. I'll see you soon.